Welcome to question.
Oh, sorry. I was doing the thing.
So good.
My bad.
So good. But we're keeping it. This is question
That was a
marks.
good start.
Cam just let us in there with a little clap. I'm Grayson, your host today, and we have a special guest today, Nelson.
I'm Nelson. Well, you said I thought you were going to ask a question, and then you're like, "We have a special guest today, Nelson."
What's your name?
I'm Nelson, and I think that fat bodies and small amounts of clothing are the funniest thing ever.
Wow.
They are, and I've made a career out of it.
He's a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Broadcaster.
Anyway.
And I'm Kahm, one of his peers and best friend.
I'm Rob, and I prefer clothing for many people.
Yeah, and I'd like to tell you what this episode's about, but it's about what just happened, really. So same old.
Enjoy.
Question marks stripped.
What's it? I love you.
I love you. Bye. Starting off strong here. Can you give me an example of like a glaring gap in your knowledge or expertise? Like something that's easy for most people, but you just can't do it. Or you feel not confident, speaking to it at least. I think we've done this before.
That would go against everything that I pretend to be.
This is going to be a good episode for you. This is going to be a really good episode
Are you going to break me in this episode?
I'm going to try. It won't work.
I
You'll just
can't-
derail us.
I can't divest myself from symmetry. So
Can you explain
That's
this?
a good right out of the gate.
I love balance.
Okay.
I love balance in all things. And I think it's probably because I have none, right? Like I'm fortunate. I'm a fat girl with a pretty face because my face is symmetrical. So when like on TikTok and everyone was doing that symmetry filter and they're like, this is what people see me. And they're like Igor on one side.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it's the side you think people are looking at, right? Now my face is the same. It's the only saving grace that I have. But the problem is most things aren't symmetrical and they're not supposed to be. So like in graphic design,
Yeah, things are just off a
things
little
are
bit. because it
not
catches your
centered
eye.
the way you think
Yeah.
are centered. Because if it was true center, it would be displeasing to the eye.
So does it bother you?
It bothers me that like I think it looks right, but I know it looks bad. You know what I mean? So when everyone else, when it
Yeah.
looks good for everyone else, it looks like trash for me. And I also can't think I don't think in that like my yard, when I had a front lawn that I was like building up all of this stuff, it was exactly the same on both sides. And people are like, that's like people that are closer
It
to
is a
you
little
will
strange.
tell you it's weird.
Brought the value of the house down.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
HOA's
It's
on
like
you.
you were like Lego land. Is that what it is?
Yes. I don't like
Blocks
things
on
to
each
be
side?
balanced.
Is that
Like,
a gap?
I don't know. I guess it's like
I think it's just a personality
yeah,
trait.
I guess that is right. I think my gap is I didn't understand the question. I suppose.
So like here, I'll go. I'll go for
Racial
me.
relations. That's why I have a
Racial relations. That's going to be a Trump
How about
administration
this?
ad.
Whoa.
I do have this. I feel like it's a gap because it's only up to 2% of the population suffers from this.
Mhm.
When you close your eyes to think of something, do you see it?
Oh,
Oh, that's when we say, don't think of a cow.
Even if
Yeah,
I do say think of a cow, if I said, Rob, think of a cow, can you picture a cow in your head?
Mhm.
And do you see a cow?
Well, in my head.
But like you're watching it on TV. This sounds stupid, but you probably never thought about this before.
yeah.
Right?
When I close my eyes and think of a cow, there's nothing there. I can describe to you what a cow looks like.
You don't
I
have a
know that
mind's
it's
eye?
black and white. I have no mind's eye.
I'm
It's
with you, though.
completely
I don't-
blank.
I don't see a
Really?
picture of a cow.
At
I
all.
see like words, not see
Can
words.
you
I just
see them? But it's a very specific
I don't
thing
see
I'm
them. I
asking.
just like have
People see this stuff.
That's
And
crazy.
then to different degrees. Now, some people get it in just like, oh, I see that. It's my mind's eye or whatever.
Yeah.
And then other people get it in that 4K definition. But most people see something.
I can see it without closing my eyes.
Same.
See,
Is
and I
that
can't
weird?
do that.
Like I
Yeah,
can picture
no,
a
I
cow
think
while looking at you guys.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
like a normal thing for most people.
So if you look at a cow in a field and close your eyes, does it
It's
disappear?
black. The way I describe the way I describe it is like, do you remember the movie The Matrix?
Yes.
And they were like, oh, look, it's the blonde in the red car. And they're like, what are you talking about? You're just staring at a computer screen. Like, that's kind of how I think about it. I can just recall all the details of a cow.
So you're telling me I close my eyes, I have to like force myself to get an outline of a cow.
Can you even see that? I cannot.
Not
see
really.
That.
No, I'm kind of comforting myself and thinking that
It's
I can.
okay. It's
I'm
all
like
right.
flashing between images of cows that I know, like
But-
cartoon cows, images I've
There you
seen
go,
of cows
right.
in a field. Like I got all the images of cows I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
It's
Rolodex.
so common to everyone else, Grayson.
Like
that
98%.
This doesn't come up.
We're so broken, man.
Well, right. Yes. I heard it was our fathers did it to us. It was nature.
I'd like to claim that. Yeah.
It's nurture, not nature. It's not genetics.
You can pay the therapy
Is that
bill.
the same thing as that you don't have an inner monologue? Like, you know, remember that was a
Oh,
couple
I got
years
one of
ago,
those,
the
yeah.
social media thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, can you hear your voice, or what
Do
voice
you
do
hear
you
a
hear?
voice?
Yeah, I hear my voice.
I don't hear a voice.
I hear myself whenever I'm thinking in my head.
I know that words are there. I think words. No, I don't think I have.
I think words.
You're
Yeah.
thinking closed
I
caption.
have a mute inner monologue. Yeah. I think in close. That's good. I think in closed caption,
Closed captioning.
but I can't see them.
Okay.
That is quite a
So
gap.
I
All right.
think in Braille is what I'm saying.
Thinking in Braille.
I think in Braille.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
Sorry.
just feel the words.
So you do have a tactile imagination then. If
Yeah.
you can feel, feel this, okay.
I
It's
don't-
not real until
I don't
touch
like
it.
that chain of thought. Tactile imagination seems dangerous.
Hey, he came in with I'm
Um,
divested from symmetry.
Yeah.
That's just a good quote. Like that's the smartest
That's the
sounding
title
thing
of the
anyone's ever said here.
It's true.
Jeez.
We had a professor on once. I think it beats that.
I was an adjunct professor. I have taught broadcast. So
There
Oh,
you
there we go.
Yeah.
You're an adjunct?
I was.
You were?
Yeah.
Where'd you teach?
Iowa Western.
Okay. Nice. Same.
See, yeah, okay. Oh,
They're like, oh, we got
Yeah.
Nelson. He left.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, maybe
college.
Cam will come on. We'll do it.
Yeah, I had to go work 3,000 hours to get the ability to come back and teach classes there because they don't give me the degree enough to teach at their school, but they gave me the
Adjunct.
career enough that they let me come back.
Yeah.
So that you might be bitter.
No, yes. You know what I'm bitter? I'm bitter because you want to talk about a guy who's got a gap. Now that I'm on the beach, you can respect this. Most guys in broadcast don't know that term. When you're not
Right.
on the air, you're on the beach.
On the beach, yeah.
Like it's such a great
It's
thing.
different.
We've got this hole inside of us that makes us get in front of things that people have to listen to us, but that's where I want to be, where no one can.
To be fair, could you imagine if they just gave like you have an honorary degree to Iowa Western? I don't think I'd tell people that.
I wouldn't. I almost don't tell him I'm an adjunct professor. I just didn't tell you Iowa Western. He said it.
I said it.
I taught broadcast.
Well, it was once he left, they're like, who can we get? And then I like stop by to say what's up to people one day. And like, oh, Cam will do it. Like, oh yeah,
They had to
sure.
check his record.
Rope
Though.
me
He had
in.
just enough, 3,001 hours.
Just enough. Yeah.
It's like a pilot.
I like the Reavers.
Listen, I don't have a problem with Iowa Western. I would go back. I loved the time I spent there. They gave me my career. But what I'm saying is, like now, there's only 7 radio jobs, right? There's only how many TV jobs are there, right?
Yep.
Do they even have live TV on 3 anymore? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like
Yeah.
the number of jobs that are out there available for media for me to not leave here are so small, and all of the morning shows have been taken up. So you think, well, don't be the old radio guy that's like, when I first got in, I never understood these guys who are my age now going, oh, can't go and do anything else. I go, you've been in marketing for 20 years. And they go,
Essentially, yeah.
you don't understand, dude. And I didn't. And now I'm here and I'm like, fuck, you can't hire me to do anything else.
I guess you get your real estate license.
And, well, I
Yeah,
already
they can do
screwed,
that.
I
Next
screwed that one up. I had it and then I lapsed it.
Wow, Cam, I think you knew that.
I
Didn't you?
did.
But that is a shot at realtors.
That is the next logical step once you're out of radio. It's
No,
like,
it
oh,
used
might
to
as well sell houses.
It used to be insurance.
Insurance, house, yeah, something in the sales.
And then radio guys sniffed money and they realized they didn't have to work as hard in real estate. So now they started going over to real estate. And that's a fact.
Sell one house, you're set for a few months.
But I've got this associate's degree that won't get you past an Indeed inbox.
Okay.
So it's one thing if like I know somebody that works there. I'm like, hey, go over to Hearst and say, hey, I know that they're hiring for whatever it's marketing position and you know me. And then I'll get an end around because I know somebody,
Mhm.
right? But I don't know anybody at UP. So immediately you go out and you try and send things off, and they're like, we're looking in a different direction. Like it'll even flash at you. You see, we want a bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah.
I go, look at the resume, dude.
Yeah, I have the experience. Yeah.
How did I become these guys working at the network, churning out what they call voice tracks, which is pre-recorded radio?
I would say cooking.
Is your gap?
Yes.
You can't cook?
Yeah.
We've talked about meat towers before. That didn't take.
No,
You
meat
never
towers
tried
are
it again?
fabulous. It's not the meat tower's fault. It's my fault.
Oh, you
I
butchered
can't cook.
meat towers? You want to explain to Nelson what meat towers are real quick?
No, I just want to let them have that vision.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
All of it,
I feel like somebody wants one at waiting for reservation or whatever with Bourdain and said we can pile a bunch of meat on a sword.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
so
that
this is on buns. This was like just a big fat burger.
okay.
And I screwed it up.
Oh, so like the triple Kong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. But this is back in the 80s.
Oh,
early
free
80s.
Kong.
So it was pre-Kong.
Kong.
Pre-Kong, yeah. So there you go. That's
And you
it.
had pizza. Yeah. All
So
right.
what, you're like a burner guy? Like you just don't like my thing was always
no.
that like I only cooked on 10. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh,
like I
yeah.
get a brown
Always high,
hamburger,
yeah.
but like
No.
don't give me any nuanced directions. You want I'm
Well.
gonna break the sauce. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah, I made 2 egg sandwiches today, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm, not all heroes wear capes, but I did fry the eggs and put them on pieces
Running
of bread.
egg, or did we go hard egg all the way?
Well, one was runny and one was hard.
Yeah, but what's the white part of it running? The yellow part's supposed to be the running part.
Yeah, it was,
That's supposed to be
See, yeah,
running white.
there was a mixture across the board. Yeah, so, but I did. Yeah, I was able to put it on the bread.
Good job, man.
Thank you. So I guess maybe
That's huge.
it's not a gap then.
No, you're good now. If you can fry an egg, you're good.
Now you know.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Mom disagrees. But
She goes, oh gap. She's like, big gap.
Cam, what do you got here? What's a gap?
Empathy.
Oh,
Oh, I don't care about that.
Wow.
I mean,
what
not
you lack
fully.
it?
Yeah, not fully. I lack it. I have it up to a point, and then it's like, cool. I'm checked out on this. I don't care.
I will second that.
It seems like it's your problem, and you should probably figure it out. And
It's the
It's
first
a you
one.
problem.
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to offer at least a couple bits of support, but then after that, like you have other friends, right? Figure it out.
Cam, Cam is this word game that they play on the New York Times app. All right, you got the Wordle, you got all these things. Well, there's this word search. You got to use this one word in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have to use this one
Strange.
letter. That's what it's a letter. So you got to spell words, okay? And you get points for every word you
Oh.
make. You have to use this middle letter every time.
Okay.
And if you only get the free version of it, you get about 7 words.
Yep.
And then it goes, I'm sorry, you got to pay 99 cents a month to play the rest of this game.
Yeah.
That's Cam's empathy.
Yeah,
He's got about 7 words.
You
in
are
him.
on the
to a
free
point.
plan.
Yeah.
You're on the free.
Uh-huh.
Is there a premium plan?
I'll
Cam?
give you a 30%. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pay me, I'm down.
Yeah, but it's
I don't want to pay for your empathy.
It's not worth it anyway.
Wait. I'll back up. What comes with the paid empathy?
I just making
A
this
hug?
plan up right now, but yeah, I've hugs. Uninterrupted
thing.
listening. Maybe I'll just try harder to give you an answer that you want. I don't know.
it won't work.
I don't think I'm going to pay you anytime soon.
Eye contact.
I have to work it out. He's got to have better verbiage
Yeah.
for you to sign up for it for sure. But
You don't like the
three
paid
premium
empathy
things.
here?
Paid
He didn't
empathy.
expect anyone to subscribe. So he has to put the
Shit.
button up there because they legally let him.
Then they started subscribing. Now I don't have any time to do anything. Now I really don't care.
I think empathy might be the best answer so far. I'm a big fan of
I
that
was
one.
just on the spot.
Mine's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how long to put the air fryer on. I've made like 25 chicken breasts in the air
There's
fryer.
buttons on it.
There
that's like,
are,
you
yeah.
Push it and that's it.
Yeah, it's
Don't
like
they have words on
I
them?
can actually tell you, it's probably $3.75 for 14 minutes. Is a big chicken breast. I'm gonna Google it every time. I have no faith. And when it finishes up, I'm like, oh,
Have you ever tried a meat thermometer?
yeah, that's too rich for me. $7.
You just told me that you don't have enough, like,
I have an air fryer, but not a
But not- yeah.
you don't have enough wherewithal amongst yourself to cook your own chicken breast. In a
I
freaking
do it.
air
I
fryer?
just Google first.
What I'm saying is, you haven't had to struggle, my guy.
Or
No one who's had to struggle has to freaking Google how long they cooked a chicken breast. They know when that itch is done, man.
Well, let's. He is my progeny. And what
His
was
son.
my gap? Okay. I'm just saying, cause and effect,
Yeah,
possibly.
definitely passed down.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
all right, this feels like a good time to actually introduce Nelson.
I think we got the gist of it. so
Yeah, we
far,
got it. Cam provided all these facts, so feel free to correct him.
Great. I told him I don't know how to sell myself anyway. So you just do it for
I'm
me.
just gonna read off
Like,
list here.
Here's the bullet points.
So Nelson, in broadcasting for 20 years, in and out of Omaha. Yeah, where else besides
Agreed.
Omaha?
Mostly Lincoln. I did a
Lincoln.
year in Sacramento.
Okay.
That, by the way, if you go to Sacramento, you don't say Sacramento. That's how you know that you're from there. Sacramento.
What did they say?
Sacramento.
Sacramento. They just roll it.
Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento.
I'm going to keep that. Good.
You know, the strangest part of working in California, though, was like people don't think about this. I-80 runs from New York City to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought I was making a big move, right, in my career. I'm leaving the little city of Omaha. We're going to Sacramento. Right. I would go to work. I-80 East, come home, I-80 West in Omaha. I go to work, I-80 East, come home, I-80 westbound in Sacramento.
It's pretty impressive.
Damn street. The only thing they were missing was Dodge. You know what I mean?
Maybe it was put there for you.
I probably was.
We need to help Nelson.
All right. You're also used to produce the Pat and JT radio show for 6 years.
That's 6 years.
I don't know. I put X years and I changed it to 6. I'm not sure.
It could have been 20.
I'm sure Pat felt like it was 6
It
years.
was 3 and 3.5.
All right.
Yeah, 3.5.
Let's see if this one's right.
The August of 08 and then till I got married, 11/11/11.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if we got this one right. Co-host of Gary and Nelson in the Morning on Froggy 98
Now that's probably the most successful thing I've done.
in Lincoln for 10 years.
Yeah, where's the
Froggy's a powerhouse.
10 years.
Yeah,
Got it.
I was there putting that son of a gun together. Okay.
Those names.
I was very lucky when I came in because the old powerhouse in Lincoln was a station called Kicks 96, which you can get in Omaha better because of where the towers are at. So like Froggy's Tower isn't any less than any other station that's around. It's just in Milford. So it's 45 miles on the other side of Lincoln. So it doesn't bleed into Omaha well. Kicks does. So a lot of people know of 96 Kicks. Well, they were the legendary station. And I got in at Froggy right as they like started to put them to bed.
Nice.
And then we stepped on the gas.
Yep. Great. Okay. Then you hosted radio morning shows at both 98.7 The River and Bluff Country.
89.7.
89.7.
89.7.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
and
most
then,
recently at 106.5 over in Council Bluffs.
okay. And then obviously the most important part. Now you're the host of That's Just Nelson podcast. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm hearing it's live every weeknight except for tonight, apparently.
Well, Sunday through Thursday.
Sunday through Thursday on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah. All right.
And
That's just.
So maybe
that's
we were
just-
simulcasting.
I could have, I suppose. I should probably fire up the TikTok live. I was firing up the TikTok live, and you guys can see that I'm a gay icon.
Oh,
I didn't know this, but there will be 10, no less than 10 thirsty, hairy men asking me to just, hey, what's going on under that tank top?
like,
Yeah, and I love it. And I love every one of them.
are you gay?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm an ally.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm an ally.
Do you ever answer them?
But I have thought about starting an OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm unemployed. Let 11 of them show up in a live, and all of a sudden, wow, we're doing it, man. We're doing it. Not foot content either, baby.
Well, I want to say thanks for joining, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see how this goes.
Too. Just in case.
Oh, goodness. All right. Is there a time, I swear this will all maybe relate in the end. Is there a time, if it's ever happened, where you were like, pardon my French, Mom, shit, I'm an adult now?
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Do you remember the exact moment that happened? Or at least like a concept? Do you have a concept of that time?
I just hit my dad up for money the other day. Thinking about
Oh, yeah. I live in this, like, I'm kind of a child. I'm an only child. So I've never really gotten to that, like, adult situation, right? So I always have mom and dad to fall back on. That's just constant. And I'm not sure if that's good with everybody else who is not an only child, but that's kind of my thing. Like, I'm the only one. I'm the last son of Krypton. They got me, right? They broke the mold, baby. There's no more.
He gained power from Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's all. That's why I turn these lights into.
So you're the only broham.
I'm the only one. Yeah. Yep.
Brown.
Bro.
I think I've said it 3 different ways. And you've never
One of those
corrected
is
me.
correct. Yeah.
Great.
Um,
Stay tuned.
Yeah, there's definitely those. I have had multiple of those moments of like, oh, shit's hit the fan, and I gotta, nut up or shut up, right?
Mhm.
Kind of just do the job, do whatever it is, make it right with whatever person I just pissed off. That's mostly the thing, is me pissing somebody off and having to apologize for it the next day. I think is the most adult thing I do regularly. And that's because of the empathy comment earlier. That's why I piss people off. Yeah.
Just making amends.
I'm always making amends.
You didn't do any of the other steps. Just like, you know what, the one I like
this
making
step.
amends.
Yeah. It's like that bill on Capitol Hill.
I think he likes causing problems too. He likes the first
yeah, I'm a little
step.
shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is, and especially if you get a little sauce in him, and you could see it. He gets a little twinkle in his eye.
It's like, I'm going to cause problems.
I've caused people to break up before, just by like pitting them against each other in a fun way for me.
Yeah,
and then they get into a real fight.
You're talking about other relationships,
Other
not yours.
relationships, not mine. Yeah, I'll do that myself.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's cool. But
No, he's broken. I've seen several. I've known the man 20 years. He's broken up a few of his own that way too.
so that's my
Being a little
childishness. But
It wasn't the empathy lack of it. Okay, yeah.
it definitely helps.
That's
Yeah.
what allows him
That's
to
what I
do
can
it.
turn off. Like, all right, I don't care anymore. And hey,
I love
that
you,
time
Cam.
said that?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
This might be the Cam episode.
So,
We have a reference to your history. I don't ever get this.
I
This
know.
is
I
awesome.
don't like
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about it much. I'm the guy behind the scenes all the time. I make people look and sound good. That's my
Oh, we
jam.
need to know you. We need to know you.
Yeah, I've dripped in some.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Still even
Sprinklings over
seven
there.
seasons.
Yeah, whatever this is. Dad, you have an instance?
Yeah, I was in third grade.
Oh. All right.
6 foot tall.
No, I was always a run. No, it was probably Dad kind of sprinkled it in on me as I grew up, as I kind of did with you. It's like, hey, every once in a while, you just gotta, when you make a mistake and you look at your parent for help, and they just look back at you, you kind of get that. And it's like, you got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I got that a lot. And so it was kind of like layers over time.
Like you got thrown in the pool. Like, well, don't drown.
Figure
That's
it
how I
out.
figured it out. You'll figure it out one day, or you won't.
Or you
we'll,
won't.
we'll just make another one. Yeah. So it's so it
We
was.
come from a loving family.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's this empathy thing you're talking about? Yeah. No.
Rob's like, you could put a plan together. Like I didn't know we could cap it.
So anywho, yeah, no. Then when the first time I got drunk, was probably like, okay, now I can't do this anymore. I have to start being more. This is when I was 28 years old.
Oh, here it
And I
is.
was
Sure. Sure.
no, okay, it was in Louisiana, so that kind of
12?
gives no.
I was gonna say I'm 15 years off that.
Hey, he was 9. Louisiana.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Anyway,
No.
yeah, it was just a bad situation. I got caught by my mom, and the next day, actually, she knew what happened. So the next day, we'd like to golf on Saturday mornings, and usually we would walk because it was an easy course. But she says, no, we're going to take a golf cart. And so, of course, if you're ever in a golf cart, you feel every bump. And I did. And I don't know how many times I had to stop and say, okay, we're going to pray to this bush. We're going to pray to this bush. We're going to pray to this bush. And Mom never said a word. But I know she and Dad talked about it. And since then, it was kind of like, that's when I had to pretty much say, all right, I need to just be a little bit more responsible. Not that I did, but I knew that I was supposed to be. So, I mean, tell me an
At
adult
least the
that,
knowledge is there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, the seed was planted. That's when
Did
I
you
knew.
act on it? No, but yeah,
No.
there it is.
I mean, there's plenty of adults who aren't adults.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think of how hammer drunk he had to be because, like, he's a kid when
Yeah.
he's doing this. So if he's still that messed up the next day, that's extra. You remember you used
It was
to
the first time, though. It was the first time.
Yeah.
First time I drank, I got a really bad
Yeah.
hangover.
Really?
Yeah. After that, it was, breezy until
I
recently.
remember getting a buzz off a tall, cool Budweiser.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
wow, one beer. This is crazy.
I remember being
Nice.
the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life, too.
Beer.
Beer.
Oh yeah. When you're like a kid and you like go get the beer. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink this. Like, yeah, go ahead, kid.
Exactly.
And then they go, oh god. You're like, yeah, you'll learn to love it.
Don't give kids beer.
Don't get beer or whiskey.
Or whiskey.
But don't be mad at them when they accidentally get it. You know what I mean? Like we're all at the party.
Accidentally.
People don't party like that anymore. I feel like when we were growing up, I just mean my whole family. Like everyone got together. Block parties were still really huge. I don't see people having parties like
Right.
that in their neighborhoods anymore.
Thanks, COVID.
They're here and
Right,
there,
yeah.
but like we weren't. My dad in his 30s wasn't going out to the bar. His brother was coming over. A couple of guys from work were coming over, and they were hanging out in the garage.
Yeah.
A bunch of records were being played, and that's when the kid would go and grab or you get the dip. Oh, you get it in somebody's dip. And
Yeah, I
that's
know
a
that.
mistake.
The dip
You
can.
get your head starts spinning. Oh yeah.
Because you don't know to spit it out. You
Yeah.
swallow some of it as you're putting it in your mouth anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll tear you up.
Man. You only do
Yeah,
it once though.
That was not my
You
experience.
check every can after that.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, you check everything.
Yikes. All right, Nelson, you got something?
Yeah, see, you guys are all funny and light, and I feel like I should have probably got in earlier so we could recover from this. I'd say the first time was when my mother was passing.
Yeah.
And it was because I watched my father as a man.
Yeah.
And so that was something. My father was always very mystical to me. You know what I mean? Because he was very smart. He still is. It's not was. The guy's still around.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with dads get dumber as they get older. That's Grayson.
So dad's super smart guy, super successful business guy. Like when it comes to like success, if I wouldn't have had like if I wouldn't have gotten headaches from fumes, I wouldn't have been a broadcaster. I've been a house painter. So like my old man ran the company that painted every house in town.
Oh.
So he could you could give him his address, so he could tell you what it was painted the first day, right? He probably went over there and saw the house.
Yikes. Okay.
So like he's always been this just like God figure, you know, all working 16-hour days and all this stuff. And then my mother gets sick, and it was a protracted illness in that it took about 9 months from the moment we found out to the end of it. But it was in that moment that you saw the humanity, and you got to see them for their flaws and their failures and their feats, you know, the things that they'd gotten right. And then you kind of go, oh yeah, maybe give this guy a little, maybe cut this guy a little slack, you know. And I was late. I was 26 before I felt like that. Otherwise, I was just enabled the entire time. So yeah, I never really knew the value of a dollar because my mother grew up soup kitchen poor, like standing in line, youngest of 6 kids, like in South Omaha, hoping to eat one day.
Yeah.
So because of that, she's like, my kids will never want for anything. And it made me into this
byproduct.
So be careful how much you're trying to correct your childhood into your child. That's all I'm saying. Because you might get this.
It's interesting though. The first time you saw your parents as actual people is what it was.
Yeah,
So like,
it was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap.
I think a lot of kids go
You're
through
not
that
supposed
first
to be
time.
just like me. You're not supposed to be just a better, more
better.
evolved.
The last son of Krypton, right?
Yes.
There it is. Nice. Well, mine's not that heavy either. I noticed I was an adult when I started. Like, kids are always mad at adults for like, oh, I want more freedom, right? That's fine. I've started getting mad at adults for like just who they are as people as I relate to them. And so that's when I was like, man, I'm really doing this, aren't I? I'm up here and I do think this person is pretty stupid.
Like, oh, your opinion upsets me.
And that's when the empathy shuts off.
Or
You
it's like,
realize that. You're like, oh, I can't help this idiot. There's no way.
Or it's like, why can't you do your job? It seems very easy. Why can't you do it?
Oh, here, let me do your job for you.
Right. Like,
That's when I was
why
like,
is no one doing their I'm starting to feel like I'm becoming on the wrong side of the force. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm becoming the Sith Lord because I'm like, do your job.
it's easy. It's an easier side.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
No, I'm with you.
The old man said to me a long time ago, he goes, the only piece of information that stuck, he goes, when a guy hires you to do a job, you're there to make that guy money. Go make him money. All right. Here I am.
Sure.
I'm here to make you money, dude. How can I do that?
It's actually kind of a good approach to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you're paid, is to make money. Yeah.
Yeah, if we ain't making money, ain't nobody making money.
I like it. All right. Ooh. Well, we've kind of done this already, but we're going to do it again.
All right.
If I were to ask your 3 closest friends to give us one fact about who you are to your core, who that person is, what do you think they'd say about you? I think my friends would say, I've actually heard this on a couple of occasions from separate friend groups. The women in these friend groups, they're like, you're kind of an asshole, but I'd trust you to walk my friend home. And I think that's a big compliment.
Yeah.
I think if you ask my 3 closest guy friends, they'd say I'm an asshole. But I'm supportive. I show up to other people's stuff. Like, I'm always there for people. Like, I went to an indoor soccer game on a Sunday morning or something like that. Like, I'll do it if my friend's doing it. But I'm pretty direct. I'm not good about beating around the bush. And if something's really funny, I say it too quickly sometimes to the point where it's like, oh, man, that hurt me a little bit.
But it's there.
It's there. It's sitting
like
there.
it's right there,
Yeah.
and then it won't be there ever again.
Yeah.
And think of just how much of a tiny moment in time that is. Like all of time will be robbed of that moment if you don't take it.
Exactly. And everyone else laughs.
Thank you.
Just the person who's the victim, not all the time.
Well, I get second. I mean, we've worked together for a number of years, not only just in this podcast, but in this company. And we've only had one meeting together, and that was this last week.
Yeah.
And I saw you in work mode, which I don't usually see. Usually I will see this guy right here, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's very, I don't want to say curt, but like when when things start to go off the rails, you're like, no, we're bringing it back.
Yeah,
Can we find a resolution to this situation real quick? I'm like, oh, damn, Grayson, cool.
Yeah,
man.
that
No,
meeting did
you're like,
frustrate me.
Not a lot.
Yeah,
whatever.
That
Yeah.
meeting was like, why are we talking about this right now?
Yeah, I'm just trying to derail it. And you're just like, no, hey, let's put that on the notes and we'll get back to that later on. Like,
Oh my God. How many
like, this
broadcast
guy.
emails? How many broadcast meetings could be an email?
everyone,
We
yeah.
just talked about this.
A promotions meeting again? What are we promoting?
Just said,
Go sell some advertising. Jesus.
I can't relate.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
we're in a marketing
Yeah,
agency.
you know what? I would say that you're a good person. You're not a nice person, because I think I'm the same way.
I have
I'm
to hold
good
on
at
to
my
that.
core, yeah, but
That-
you know what? I'm
yeah.
not nice.
And I'm better about picking targets too. Like I wasn't in college. I was bad about picking targets.
No,
Rob just
you're just like say hello to my little friend,
Yeah.
and everybody went down.
I was full metal jacket in college. It's just like,
How can you shoot innocent women and children like that? Easy, you just don't lead them as much.
Full Metal Jacket for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. But now I'm better. I have certain friends who like love it. They feed off it
his face on
and they'll give it to me. Oh God, maybe not. I don't know if I've ever made that face in my life.
Put it on the Insta.
Yeah, so I'm better now. There's some friends where I'm like,
Oh yeah,
shouldn't.
it's not worth it. Well, it's not worth the fallout.
Yeah, it's like our friendship might not last if I say this, which will be hilarious.
I would err to the side of hilarity on that one. And
Yeah.
that's like, and then I do the apology the next day.
Yeah.
That's how I would operate.
And you give them 2 beats of empathy, and then
right, yeah. I didn't mean it, but you know I meant it, right?
But I think my girlfriend's in here. She could probably attest to this. Like I will let people have it if they can handle it. And sometimes maybe too much.
Yeah.
A little too much. But
well, that's on them.
I feel like I'm trusted. I feel like I'm a trusted asshole.
Okay, Gen
And that's
X.
fine.
That's on you to manage. Like nobody hugged me. They gave me a key and let myself in the
I'd
trailer.
like to go on the record. It's the first time I've ever been called Gen X.
Yeah. It's a big day. It's a big day.
I'm getting younger. Suck on that.
He prefers the greatest generation.
Oh,
Right. Nice.
oh, that's called
We
silent
saved this.
generation.
We saved this world, made it safe for democracy.
Damn right.
Yeah, that was a World Wars joke for people my age who might not know the greatest generation.
Open a history book or
Yeah.
an app.
You don't have to really.
Download it on a Kindle or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I hang on to the
Look
nice.
it up on your MySpace
Yeah.
page.
All right, I'm gonna go to Kahm here. He seems the most locked in.
Yeah. I'm locked in.
He's paying attention.
3 things that my friends would say about me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
Wait, 3
The
things.
one thing, three.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
Thing-
common denominator all your friends would say?
Or
Okay,
if
well,
you
shit,
think
that's
you have
different.
3 different levels, that's cool.
Well, I was gonna say tall, hairy, and handsome, but you know,
Which
Not
one of those would you want to go with?
Handsome.
nobody would say that. Are you kidding me?
Me,
I'm
Sam,
symmetrical.
who else? Who's the third?
I don't have that many friends.
Yeah, right. It's me.
I know. Just ask him. What would you say?
Handsome. I would
Thank you. Handsome it is.
So yeah, you close your eyes, Nelson. And think of the word Nelson, or think of the word Cam. Do you see handsome, or think of the word handsome and you see Cam?
Both. I think it's it's
Okay, see,
interchangeable.
that's
He is
symmetry, my friend.
symmetrical. Yeah.
You're not divested
That's so
anymore.
No, not anymore.
You know, go forth and be free.
Yeah. You are vested now.
You're vested.
You are vested.
Yikes. All right.
No, but I kind of go with you guys on that, like good at heart, but also there, you know, you got to have that wall protection of whatever that might be, whether it be an asshole or the comedy or whatever it is. But yeah, definitely, yeah, solid dude, I think would be a common.
I go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. You bend over backwards a lot for people.
Yeah.
I'm not that flexible, so that's really
I know.
hard on my
It's
body.
a lot of effort. Yeah.
No, that's a visual I can see.
This is where it's a blessing. This is where it's a blessing that we can't imagine. These things.
No, this is like, I was like, I see it. I've got it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I got it on my TikTok.
Don't ever say it that way again. Usually there's more young people here. It's a lot easier for me.
This is good.
Young person.
Get off my lawn.
Nelson, what about you? What would you
Loud. It's easy. It's
Yep,
loud.
totally loud.
loud?
That's exactly what I thought when you asked the
Yeah,
question. I'm like,
loud.
that guy's loud.
I don't pick up on that.
You wouldn't. Subtle.
Nice.
I think that I don't know this scientifically, but I feel like my voice just is at a frequency that carries better. I don't think I'm that much louder than everyone else, but I do project.
That's it.
There's a lot of oxygen that's coming out. Like I have a hole inside me. I want someone to notice me. So like I am noticeable.
Dude, your diaphragm is just ripped. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the universe, like really pushing that air out.
I'm on gear, but just right there. I'm just like injecting it right into the old diaphragm. But yeah, loud.
Not a bad way to be, though.
Yeah, no.
I'm there. All right, what do you got?
It's kind of what you guys said. I would hope that they would say I'm kind of trustworthy or stable. I don't know. I think people probably say, I mean, most of my friends would probably say, well, you're kind of fun and kind of, snarky, but witty.
Mom's giving a stare here.
I've not hit a single word. I'm throwing them all out there.
Yeah.
Tall, graying hair.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You got two thumbs up there.
I know. My wife knows me.
Try handsome.
Nope.
Oh my God.
I know a loser when I see it. I am back in that horse.
Out loud on that one.
She snort laughed. Yep.
All right. Sounds like we're all pretty good people.
We're all good people.
Yeah.
If you ask us.
You're asking us what we think. Yeah, they ask our friends.
Yeah, you didn't actually do the legwork to go ask them.
No. I would have if I had a week for this episode. But
Well, I do want to thank you for assuming that we each have 3 friends.
Yeah. You are young.
That's a huge
Like,
assumption.
yeah, oh my God. Over a certain age, they just
go.
What would 3 random people say about you? Is that better?
Yeah.
Tall, hairy, handsome. That's what 3 random people would say.
Yeah.
they would.
I think we'd all hit the same things. Tall and graying hair.
Loud.
About Gray.
He did.
Okay,
It's his words.
Shots fucking fired over you, dude. This used to be red hair, all right? It just dipped out.
No, he's not one of my targets. He's fine. What's something that you think people misconceive about you? I won't do your 3 friends. Anybody.
Just anybody.
What's a misconception you think that's out there about you?
I think.
Go ahead. No, I went first last time.
All right, so I'll go, and I will throw mine in the context of my job. On any given day, someone thinks I'm extremely conservative or I'm extremely liberal, and it's I've literally gotten an email from the same story. Someone saying that I'm trying to remember the words. Someone email was said, I am basically a neo-Nazi white supremacist. And then the other person said, I'm just a liberal mouthpiece for Joe Biden. And it was from the same story. And so I'm like, okay.
You covered it really well then.
That's what I thought.
That's a win.
Exactly what I thought. So my first thought was, we need to have all 3 of us just get together and have some beers and figure this out, because this ought to be a great conversation.
For a second.
Well, I know, but
it would be.
That's why we're
I love listeners. They are so crazy.
They are.
Because the people that will write are not the average listener.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not the person that's like, hey, I want to get a little information. I want to know what the weather's going to be like. I got my newscast that I go to. I got my radio show that I go to. The people that write, they think you're talking to them. And you know what?
Well, we are. We are
talking to you. Tweeted at Herb Street how much he hates Nebraska. I'm the problem.
You're one of those.
I am one of them. You know what I mean? I'm not tweeting to local talent. But I'll tell Herb Street, oh, whatever, you're just going to pick. And he'll fire back. He answers us idiots because he has to. And as he answered me, I go, oh, is this what I've become? I go, how can I be on the radio and also a listener? It doesn't jive.
It's for everybody.
Have I responded to any of your emails?
No, I haven't said it. I don't think I fired off.
You're the one that called him a liberal.
Yeah,
whatever.
which one? Yeah, which one was that? Yeah.
Conservative. But I guess I could see that how it's all and it'll change by day. See, so for you guys, it's less personality. It doesn't always translate to a podcast.
Right.
I've met other guys in your exact same seat that could not sit here and chop it up like this. Very stiff. We won't name names, but that's all right. But on the radio, it's fluid, dude, especially if you're on a morning show and they're letting you have any kind of an actual talk time, because now you're dancing around. And as soon as that microphone goes on until we're into commercials or into the next song, you're in it. And there's nothing planned. especially working with Gary and Lincoln. We didn't plan the show until 6:30. Started at 6. We were flying up from the seat of our pants, but it was good radio.
Yeah.
But it was because all of us had the ability to kind of just jive a little bit.
Yeah.
But to your point, you can make one comment about something that's fiscal, and all of a sudden now you're a scrumper and you were storming the capital city, right? But then you could also go, I don't know. I don't know much about a woman's body. Maybe we should have a couple of women in the freaking room to have the discussion too. I'm not saying anything else, but maybe we bring in a couple of people that have the organs we're trying to regulate here. Now all of a sudden, I'm a baby killer.
You sound insane.
Oh my God! Right? Okay, flat earther.
That's our all-male podcast, right?
Forgot, I'm a white guy. I'm just supposed to hold women down and tell them the way things are supposed to be.
Jesus.
Got it. Thank you. Got it.
For those who don't know, that was sarcasm.
I know that's the
No, that was a question, right? That was sarcasm. Okay.
Oh man. Good thing Hope's not here at the moment. Oh, Lordy. All right. Have we gotten through everyone? I don't think so. I think we just got
What
through
was
you.
the question?
What's a misconception people have about you? That you feel they have about you?
I think they feel that I am dumber than I actually am.
I will agree to that.
Gotcha.
Because I play the part of the dumbass sidekick.
You like to have fun.
Yeah, whatever. However you want to phrase it to make me feel better, that's cool. But I do play that part of like, I ask the dumb questions. I say the dumb things on purpose because we're moving the show along, whatever it might
But it's
be.
the smart thing to do.
But he's talking the show. It's not even just a show.
The show's life.
He's like
In
the
life.
show at the bar.
I'm playing the bit. I'm doing the bits,
which
I'm
is
the bit
great.
guy all the time, and I'm always in that until it's like, oh shit, it's serious. All right, let's get serious about it. But I think that's the thing is that I'm perceived to be dumber than I actually am, which I'm fine with that because then I surprise people.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
So why do you do that?
That's probably a defense mechanism of some sort. Yeah.
It's also kind of entertaining.
He didn't love himself enough.
Oh,
He
buddy.
doesn't. I don't love myself either, but I can tell you he doesn't love himself. I live with him. I see it.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, real recognize real
Kindred
as they
spirit
say.
over here. Yeah.
Well, it's always. I think it's always good too that don't you feel like you're holding something back just in case you can take the shot?
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Yeah,
I think that's the thing too. Yeah, that's
He's taking some pretty good shots. Like I know you got something going on up there by the insults you've hurled.
Anybody who talks to you for like more than a half hour, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's all like a one time or in little bits. They realize that you're highly intelligent. So,
well, that's nice.
or
I think
didn't
that's
know-
the first time. That's a first time.
I didn't
for
know
that.
you were going to
We
understand
got that on tape. All right, good. We got that.
Oh, my God.
Ron McCarty thinks I'm highly intelligent.
No, I didn't.
Immediately backpedal. It's the biggest scandal of his career.
But yeah, like when I'm hosting trivia, like I don't write the trivia questions, but I always try to throw a little anecdote in about something that I know. And people are like, oh yeah, this guy knows something, and I'm like, surprise, surprise, and I look like this, right? So that's another reason.
Yeah.
I look like this, so I just look like I'm dumber than I am. So
I really don't know how to respond to that. I want to say no, but I don't know who you hang out with.
no, I'm smarter than I look. I'd have to be. I think is that's
Oh,
the
you
thing.
dressed down. Okay.
Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. I think people think I'm smarter than I am because I'm just interested in things.
Uh-huh.
So
And
like
you're quiet.
quieter.
The quiet ones are always
Yeah.
perceived to be smarter.
Yeah, I'll sit
Like,
there and
there's a lot going
absorb
on.
things.
No.
No.
He knows I'm not the quiet
No,
one.
no, nothing. No. I don't think just because you're quiet means you're smart.
That's
No,
true.
Because I know a lot of dumb,
perception, though.
silent people. Yeah.
That's what they say, right?
That's what they say.
Keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Leave them wonder unless you open it and leave them.
Let them know.
Wasn't it the Mark Twain thing?
But I don't know. That's your guys' generation.
That's the riverboat generation.
Yeah, it's,
No, but I'll sit there and ask
Samuel
like
Longhorn Clemens.
I'll sit there with I'm the opposite of Kahm. Like I'm the premium subscription to empathy, except I'm not really empathetic. I'm interested in the story.
Right.
And so I'll sit there and ask like very pointed, direct questions.
Follow-up
And they're like,
questions,
oh, I didn't expect this. Is like, well, I don't really want to, but I'm stuck here now.
I'm in too deep.
Yeah, like I need to know the end of this story.
I think that's why I started smoking because it's always an out. Like, oh, gotta go smoke.
Oh, I thought you were about
this
I
conversation.
thought you were about to blame me and my question.
No, it's like that's I always have an out of it.
You drove him to smoking.
It's like, man, mission accomplished.
Yeah. I'll blame you for that forever.
That's sweet. All right, Nelson, what about you?
I think that I'm too much. because I am loud, right? And so like a lot of times I'll come off as just like I don't even have room to like absorb you into my life. But like I'm also such a fierce ally. All you get in once you're in the bubble, like if you hate them, we hate them. You know what I mean? Like I'm the ultimate wingman. I'm like the ride or die. If you hate him, we hate him. To the point where I had a buddy of mine didn't understand it.
Yeah, but you got your people. You got to back your people.
I go, dude, you hate her. I hate her. He goes, you were buddies before. We hate her now. I'm not actively doing anything. I'm not being mean to her. I'm not sending like memes with the middle finger up or anything. But I don't take her calls anymore. We don't like him anymore. We're done with that. So I am a lot, but I'm not too much.
You're a good person to have on your team, though.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good way to be. Okay. It didn't segue as well as I wanted it to, so I'm just going to push on to the next question.
All right.
Here's a question about something different.
What?
Here's a question about something different.
Perfect segue.
Here's a question about something different.
I thought he was going to ask a question.
I was also waiting for it.
Wrapped.
But then I saw his eyes and I knew there was no question.
I'm smart. I was quiet. That makes me smarter.
Just ask him.
Or three of my friends.
That's a good segue, actually. So I'm sure we've all heard of imposter syndrome. And we could easily go in that direction. I don't want to. I think I want to go the other way. What's something you think you might be too confident in?
Ooh. He did a head fake on me because I knew he was thinking about imposter syndrome ahead of time. And I was like, I got this one my whole life. And then nope. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to change it at the last second.
Oh, I had it written down.
And this is why you don't talk before the show. This is why you save it for the show.
I just throw curveballs. That's all I do.
You know.
Do you have an answer?
Oh, let me think about it.
Misdirected.
You knew the question was coming. You wrote the question.
All right, Cam. I'm trying to be here with the boys.
The boys.
I'm trying to be out here. Something I'm too confident in. I always overestimate my ability to compete in anything.
Okay.
I could pick up something completely new, and I am terrible at it, and all the evidence tells me I'm terrible at it. But if someone says, "All right, let's put $1 per whatever we're doing," I'm like, "Yeah, why don't we double it?"
We're going to state. We're going to state this weekend.
Until I do come to that point of humbling realization, like I've been ice skating once, and I will never go again for that reason.
Miss me with that.
I'm terrible at it.
I don't got the ankles for it.
But yeah, I have this expectation of myself where I should be able to compete. Even if, like I said, I'm terrible. Maybe someone wants to ice skate. I wouldn't do it unless they're like, I'm better than you at it. And I'm
it's a challenge.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
What are you, Marty McFly?
I haven't seen Back to the Future.
No, he hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen any of it.
Chicken. And all of a sudden you have
Maybe
to
it
do
is. I know.
That's actually
all you need to know.
That's all. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's the ways of the world.
You don't have to do it until you're challenged. Then you have to do it, and you have to crush them, right?
Yes.
That's the thought process.
That is.
The application doesn't always work out. Sometimes the best part is like when it does, right? So if something I've been notoriously bad at, someone challenges me in it, and then I win, I'll hold on to that for the rest of my life, probably.
Do you just kind of give them the look and just turn away, like,
"Oh, I'd
be better"?
I do that all the time. I do the stare. I'm like,
God.
You know.
See, that's the look I gave him when he was growing up.
Maybe I.
See,
where'd I
the
get
parents
it?
do that. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, I was about to say something terrible out of context. Didn't even. I was like, maybe he beat me all the time at sports and stuff, at sports and competitions. I had to come up with the.
Thank you.
You could still hit kids back then, I think.
No.
They didn't teach anything about calling anybody or.
No, I was the first generation, I think, where they're like, "This doesn't have to happen to you."
Yeah, it does, though. Just let it happen.
Jesus.
I don't remember getting smacked. I don't remember. Thank you, Kahm.
All right. Well, that's my confidence. What do you guys got?
I think I am much better at performing music than I really am. Because I used to be able to sing and I used to be able to, play instruments, and I still think I can. But man, oh man, if you record, everybody sings in the car or whatever, and if you recorded that, I'm guarantee I'd be uber critical. Like, oh my God, wow, you suck. It's like, man. And so because if you watch a reality show, you're like, I could sing that song.
Right.
I could I could do that. It's like playing golf. It's like if I just practice more, I could be on the tour.
There it was. I just didn't bend my knees.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
It's like,
Look at that.
I'm kind of that way
Close
too.
the club face.
that's exactly what it is. It's like, I could do that. Just practice more.
So I inject more golf into this podcast. Too tennis focused.
Drink.
Yep. I need
Drink
to
when we
get
say
one.
tennis.
It'll come up again.
So is that two since you said
I
it?
was informing Nelson of the rules.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So wait.
Oh,
We're good there. It's qualified. Ken, what's something you're too confident in?
Can I grab another beer too?
Yes. I got
Okay,
everyone wants beers.
What am I too confident?
I don't
about?
because it's Coors Light. Just go on the record.
Mine's a Busch Light.
Oh, that's right.
Just kidding.
is it?
It's not. What am I too confident in? I don't know. That's a thing. I guess I don't do a lot of self-reflection in that regard. So, I'm all right. I didn't know what was going on.
No.
Yeah, wow.
He
He's
did the right thing.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
he
think
did the
he
right
did the
thing.
right
I didn't know that was happening though.
Oh, you thought he just handed and took it away from you?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
All right, not to be too curt, but I stepped away from the table. We've got no closer to an answer.
No,
Let's get this meeting back on track.
What am I too confident? I don't even know.
Your ability to
I mean, other than earlier, I was really cocky about the whole being the old last son of Krypton and stuff. Like I ride that situation.
you really don't think you're Superman?
I really don't think I'm Superman. Turns out
I have a lot of evidence to the contrary. There's at least one full week of the year he is in a Superman costume. It's not always 7
Very true.
consecutive
Wait.
days.
Are you talking about
coming?
7 whole days that he'll be in a Superman suit?
You're talking about his thing he sleeps in, right?
Yeah, but that
Sometimes.
fits in it.
Yeah,
You
we've talked
hope
about
that
the
he only
snuggly. We've talked about the pajamas.
No, he'll
the
go out
super
in public.
suit. Yeah.
He only sleeps
When we were in college, he had
Yeah.
a weekend outfit. You want his confidence is? His confidence is that he can pull this shit off. Dude, you can tell when he's been in a weekend outfit because woo, them feet start
Oh, boy.
kicking, boy. Oh, you want to talk about peeling some paint? Oh my God, your nails are chipping. Just put them down by his toenails.
Are
All
you-
of a sudden, they're gonna curl that paint off.
Are you guys roommates?
Woo, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been roommates multiple times.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
But
the
this
Cam
is the most
episode.
depressing time because I'm 40 and he's almost 40. And both men just living together with my 2 kids.
There's nothing wrong with it.
In a symmetrical house.
Yeah. Oh no, I got one. Now that we've let all that shit out of the bag, I think that I'm more entertaining than I really am. It's like if I go up to sing karaoke or something,
Oh,
I put on a show, and then the whole crowd is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" This is awful entertainment. I'm up there just like cranking out, play that funky music, white boy. I'm spinning around, doing the poses and stuff, and
I would love
nobody's
that.
jiving it.
same.
You have the
Nobody's
wrong
in it.
crowd.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
wrong crowd.
Yeah.
I'd be there for that.
Or I do Love Fool by the
You
Cardigans.
just be there once.
When I like,
I'll show
I
up.
do it in a high pitched voice.
Oh.
So I sing in
It's
that
like,
like
yeah, no,
fake
this is-
falsetto.
Yeah.
And I think that's hilarious, but
Probably
they
is
don't
hilarious.
get it. Yeah.
This is a man who knows himself. He's got it figured out.
I'm comfortable in this skin.
He's got it figured out.
Oh, Nelson, what is something you're too confident in?
My driving ability.
Oh.
You know what? For the longest time, I've always told people that I'm the one. Like, you want somebody behind the wheel, you want me behind the wheel, right? Because in high stakes situations where people should die, I don't. I get out of the accidents. I weave out of them. When I'm in a major accident, I'm the only one in the car. I think I just put myself into high risk situations a lot.
Just to feel something.
Yeah, and it wasn't until recently that I started to put that 2 and 2 together because, like, I've crashed every car I've ever owned, but I'll tell you, I'm the safest driver you've ever been with because nobody gets hurt while they're with me. Okay.
Nice. So you take the shot on the driver's side.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, always. Yes. Yes.
See, basically you're saying.
It's a very well
Your
thought out.
side, sucker.
And you know what? Like, it didn't get better. Like, the biggest accident I was ever in was on I-80, and I was coming back home from Lincoln, and it was torrential downpour. And it doesn't take much. When you got bald tires, it doesn't take much. So I'm in a little Jeep Compass, and I'm going 80 miles an hour. Okay, should be going 60. I'm going 80, and then it squeaked out on me. I overcorrected. I spun around, and I was facing the wrong direction as I was still going. I was heading east, facing west, going 80 miles an hour with a semi next to me. And that's when I said, I'm really good at this. You know what I mean? Anyone else would have skidded everywhere else. I had enough time to, I said to myself, it's crazy how time slows down. I said to myself, you should close your eyes because if you get into this accident and you can't walk, at least you'll be able to see. I shut my eyes, and then it went slam, slam, slam. And my car ended up perpendicular to I-80 eastbound, and I was sitting in the driver's seat. It had fallen on, went on its side, spun around 3 times, and fell back down onto its tires.
Didn't flip.
Didn't flip.
Just
I put it
spun.
on its side and
Yeah.
spun. And luckily, if you drive 80 now between Omaha and Lincoln, you'll see they've got fencing that's all in the middle, like so very reminiscent of Iowa's interstate system. It's because of this, not because of my accident.
did it?
You
specifically.
did this.
No,
Yeah.
mine was in 2017, but it's when there's a bad rainfall and a car goes into that ditch, it becomes a half pipe. And so it kicks cars out into oncoming traffic.
Oh,
And once you go down into there, there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
The only thing that stopped me was there was for 100 feet, I went back and looked, there was an eroded piece in the middle of the half pipe, and my tire bit into it and it slammed around. And so now I'm not afraid to drive anywhere because I think I'm unstoppable.
That's the takeaway.
Uh-huh.
I can't be killed.
I don't think I can be. I've got plenty of stories to tell you otherwise. Like I think I might be invincible. But I for a brief moment did think I was dead, because as the car comes to a stop, and I open my eyes, there's already a man at the broken out window next to me. How did he get there so fast?
You were knocked out.
Stop moving, right? I look at him and I go, "Am I alive?" He goes, "Yeah, buddy, you're alive." You alive? I was certain he just killed some homeless man in the middle of the interstate that was just trying to
And you were in heaven together?
Do you imagine you kill a guy and you both end up in heaven?
Yeah.
That's a long eternity.
Pissed if I was him, wouldn't
Man,
you?
that's
I'd be like, what would he just did?
He should have to go to the back of the line at least.
Or what you could just look at him and say, really? You sure you shouldn't be here?
Right.
You sure?
Sure about
You
that?
kind of give him a dad thing. Are you really?
Sure.
Really?
You know what
Think
you
about your choices.
did? You were walking on the interstate and it was raining. So who's the bad guy?
It was the outright. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in your moment of most high pressure, your life could end. You decided to close your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Because he could see if his
Because
eyes were
I was
closed.
confident I was going to live, but I didn't want glass in my eyes because I was certain I had enough time to imagine this thing was going to roll once I hit out into there.
Well,
In fact, the first thing I asked the guy at the window was, did I flip it? And he said, yes. So I thought that I had actually rolled the thing over.
you should just celebrate. You should
Yeah, but you didn't think keeping your eyes open and trying to steer out of it might have been a better.
No, I knew at that moment that there was no saving it.
Well, it's pretty
When I
tough.
was
So
going 80 at east, when
Backwards?
I was facing west and traveling east at 80 miles an hour, I knew that I had lost control of this.
All you have to do is just repeat what you did, except backwards.
Just undo it. Yeah.
Thank you,
thanks.
Dad.
Yeah, very helpful.
Control Z that shit.
This is like when I told my dad.
Exactly.
One time I told my dad, "Oh, I was clinically diagnosed depressive for the last few years," and he goes, "Well, can't you just not be sad?"
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Just
Oh.
lighten up.
That's
Just
my
lighten up.
answer to
Oh,
things. It's a
yeah,
good
that's how it
level.
goes.
It's like, well, can't you just stop doing this?
I would have saved so much money on Wellbutrin if I only known.
If I only known that was it.
I like that
Yes.
you say you could imagine this crash. And I have a previous conversation. I imagine you were reading a paragraph in your head about how your car was going to flip.
It's like, yep,
It's
all
the
right.
most descriptive page
Yeah.
of a book
That's
I've
right.
ever read.
The opening of Star Wars.
Can we just get to the verbs, please? I want to know what happens to me. Yeah. I don't need the adjectives.
Oh, man. Oh,
That's funny.
this might be a long episode. I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh boy.
Even better. Was there a time where your high confidence about something was completely shattered? Like you thought you were this person and then you were definitively shown that you were not this person?
Yeah, there was the Olympics were going on, and we were going to do a radio bit about it. And so it was something was happening. It was the winter. Maybe it was the swim trials, because I remember it being cold. We had to go to an indoor facility.
Mhm.
And I said, I could do this diving. That's nothing, right? So with
Just
the three of
gravity.
us, Gary, Nelson, and Kelly, we went to this YMCA in Lincoln, 10-foot diving board. That's it. I got out. I got to where the diving board, like as you're up on a high dive, they got the railing.
Mhm.
And then at the end of the railing is the end of the support for the diving board,
Mhm.
right? Well, I've been no less than 330 pounds for the bulk of the last, no pun intended, 20 years. Okay. I'm a big boy. And as soon as I got to 6 inches past where there was support underneath, I thought the thing was going to fucking snap. And in that moment, I could not force myself to even run out and
Do the
fall
jump.
off. But I knew the guy I worked with, this like pinnacle of manliness, the best father man human that you've ever met, this Gary Greenwood. Love this
Present
guy.
company excluded.
I was just about. I was waiting for the snarky comment.
Just like the kind of guy that you go, oh my God, a real American hero, just without the soldier side of it. Just like,
But he hasn't done anything for our country.
no, so that's what it is, but he coaches D2 football. You know what I mean? So,
All right.
He makes a hell of an apple pie.
same,
All right, he's good. Yeah.
same. I know I'm not. He's also the ultimate jock, so I know I'm not going to live it down if I'd say nope. I'll climb down. So I went to the very edge, and then I just like torpedoed down. And I still didn't let it. I just off the side of it, where as soon as the diving board was going to end, because I was sure I would snap it. Just like I think I almost killed a horse at the Lincoln Petting Zoo because I was too heavy.
How did you?
You're supposed to pet them.
No, they have
He's punching it for some reason.
Jumping on top of it.
At the Lincoln Children's Zoo, they have like this like platform, and you can go on the platform and you can ride a horse, right? So the kids can ride horses. All right. Well, it's the Kentucky Derby, and we were going to do a horse race because we're stupid. You're fucking radio. You got to come up with the dumbest shit so that you can like talk about a news story
You
differently.
could just act like you did it. No one's gonna
No,
see
we
you do
filmed the
it.
video. We filmed the video.
Okay.
Gotta have Grayson, you gotta have hits, dude. You're not bringing in hits. We gotta have web hits.
This is semi-recent. Okay.
Click-throughs. Yeah, this isn't the last 15. That's
Okay.
2013 or whatever.
Click-throughs.
And so we go to this damn zoo, and Gary, he's fit. Kelly's 5'2", weighs 120 pounds, right? And then I'm 6'2", 340, 350. I heard the horse groan. Have you ever heard a horse make a not horse noise? I sat down on the saddle of this thing and went. I got. It's like 10 feet. You walk forward and you're still under the underhang of this like pavilion, and then there's the track. The horse didn't get to the daylight before someone ran out and said, "You should probably get down." The horse was bowing in the middle. Like I didn't have to really step off. I just put my foot to the ground out of the stirrup.
Was there more than one horse, or was just one horse?
That's just what I think I should have rode two of them if I would.
No, I'm just wondering if the horses were like drawing lots. You get him. I'll take three of the little kids.
Short straws.
Yeah.
Let's say who's more confident? He going up to the diving board or the horse who's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
That horse learned.
Oh.
That horse has got imposter syndrome for sure.
Brady's gonna love this episode.
That's true.
All right. What about you, Cam? Anytime you had your confidence
I
shattered?
don't think so. I'm just pretty much confident all the time. Nothing
think that's
bad's
checked.
ever happened,
Yeah.
and I'm
Actually-
good.
Nothing bad has ever happened.
I've never been checked in any way.
All right. Fair enough, man. Maybe.
At least nothing that's shattered me to the core enough to be like, hey, you should talk about it on this podcast.
No, like I'll back him. I'll back him up on that. Like I always say, this is one of my favorite stories to tell about him. You know, the old movie trope of the kid was like a nerd and now he goes to a new school and he just reinvents who he is, right?
Yep.
Okay. I watched that happen.
Yeah, we were
His
in
name
school
is an
then, yeah.
acronym. Now I'm not gonna give it all out. I don't know
knew
what he gives it out.
I know he has a fake name now.
So his
yeah.
name, that's his name, but it's an acronym. That's just, it's got a lot of names. Okay. And
What's the acronym stand for?
Well, it stands for Kahm. I'm not gonna tell you what the actual acronym is.
Why not?
I don't think I've
You
said
haven't shared it before.
I haven't on this podcast.
No.
No.
You don't have to.
Do you?
Well, my real name's Keith, so K is Keith.
That's all of his initials.
Yeah, it's all my
Keith.
initials. So I
So
got
if he goes, "Oh, hey, it's Keith here," and he goes, "Yeah, just call me Kim."
Oh,
And
Nice.
in that moment, they say you can't invent your own nickname. He did. I watched it, and it stuck.
Yep.
For one, and for two, then I got to know him more, and so I knew I would learn about who this kid was back in small town Iowa, or the friends would come up, right?
mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't jive for them that he was literally the coolest guy in school, like he was. The guy has swagger that he can't even, like, you can't even put your finger on it, like where it comes from.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense with the weekend outfits, but the guy's got swagger.
I think it makes too much sense.
Like,
But yeah.
yeah, it's like the time my cousin came to town. We partied all night. Everybody passed out, and we were at the suites, and like everyone went to their own rooms. So it's the 4 rooms with a common area, you know, at the suites at Iowa Western. And my cousin slept on the couch, and she gets up the next day. And is like, "Hey, where's Keith at? What's going on?" And everybody's like, "What the fuck?" I don't know what you're talking about. And she thought she woke up in like a Twilight Zone. Like nobody knows who that guy is. And then I finally stumbled out of bed and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? She's like, oh my God, I thought you were dead. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought I slept in the wrong room. Like totally freaked her out. I was like, oh yeah, they call me Kahm. And
I call him Kahm. My favorite piece of that, though, being as close a friend as I am to him, was like when we were younger and, you know, you're in the dating pool and everything. And then there would be like women that we would see regularly, whether he was dating them or anyone was dating anyone, or they were just like people you would see out at the places we would go to. There's a move. It's a specific type of girl likes to do where she wants to show everyone else she knows this guy better than you. It's like a flirt technique I've noticed with women sometimes. It's only one specific kind. She's kind of entitled, okay? But what she'll do is she'll go, oh, Cameron. Right? And so it's like rubbing it in your face. Oh, you call him Kahm because I call him Cameron. I go, well, bitch, that name's made up, and it's got a fucking K and an H in it.
You should have gone up to him and done the exact same thing on the opposite side. Go, oh, Keith.
Yeah, right.
right, yeah, right.
Oh, Cameron. I was like, all right, Stacy, that's fine.
I hope her name's actually Stacy. Check for some
There's
reason.
at least two, I think. Yeah,
Two Stacys.
yeah, there's 2 Stacys.
Yeah. All right, Dad. I fear this answer.
Top that.
I fear this answer about.
What?
Oh, I've never had my confidence shaken.
No, there was one. There was one time.
And
was
good
reporting
story.
To Nang.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, before it was even Vietnam. Yeah, yeah. I just walked around calling it Da Nang, and
Yeah.
it stuck. Yeah. So there was a time I used to think that I could report on anything, and anything.
Mhm.
And then I hit my first state budget that I had to figure out. All right. And what they did is the governor back in the day, they would say, all right. When I was the bureau chief, they said, all right, you guys come in the day before we release this. We're going to give you just kind of like, this is what we're doing. And they were spinning it like pre-spin right before they released it. But actually you had kind of the wonks in there, not kind of, they were the wonks. They would sit there and go, this is, X number of millions went for this year, this now, or last year, this year it's going for this and blah, blah, blah. And it got so deep in the weeds. And kind of the joke in my family is that whenever something about numbers comes up, I go to Colorado in my mind. I'm on vacation because I just do not understand this. And I'm sitting there, and this is and I did not have my trusty sidekick at the time, Andrew Ozaki, who is still there. He was not with me. And Andrew's brilliant. I mean, brilliant. And he was not with me. And I was sitting there going, all right, I'll handle it. I'll handle the pre-budget briefing is what it was. And I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I went home that night and I was like, I think I stayed up all night going through all these numbers, ended up working through just what maybe a fourth grader could have come up with, but I was there going, I went into it going, I'll just handle the state budget like this. And I'll be a brilliant, Capitol Bureau chief. And I came out going, geez, Louise, hey, rudimentary boy, why don't you? I mean, it was fine. There was nothing wrong, but it was just like, social services more, transportation less, crime the same,
Keep that.
staff I don't know. It was kind of like that.
McCartney, you've got it.
You're the best reporter we've ever seen. Come up here and stop reporting.
There's not like a smoking gun in there, so it's not like you're not investigating to uncover something.
That's what you go in thinking.
Just like
you hope to uncover something.
Yeah, that's my mindset going in. It's like I'm gonna catch what you guys are trying to slip past the taxpayers, and they're like, "Here's everything. Knock yourself out."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh crap!"
Oh, they're so honest.
Yeah, you're so honest. Damn it.
Here's all of the books. Go ahead.
But God bless the people who work who aren't the politicians, who are the wonks, because they're the people that keep the state running.
Right.
I mean, oh my God.
Cipher through all that.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I want to discuss briefly before we end here the illusion of certainty. So we're a little helpful here. It's like the opposite of imposter syndrome. It's like being certain is actually not a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly, 70% of people say they experience imposter syndrome, which I think is crazy high, but kind of makes sense. I think a lot of young people experience it. So I think it's important to note that modern psychology actually argues that a certainty is a bias and that you should never actually truly be certain of anything because things always evolve, right?
Mhm.
So it's a tendency to overestimate the accuracy of the knowledge we have, even when faced with new evidence. So yeah, you've been in arguments before with people who just cannot, get out of their ways.
Yep.
Right.
Same thing. They're too certain. This bias can lead to overconfidence, hinder a person's ability to learn and adapt to new situations and information. So imposter syndrome might not be the worst thing. If you actually listen to this argument, it would be being certain is actually probably the worst for your growth because imposter syndrome still drives you to, be better.
Because you won't hear the other side of an argument, or you won't grow from that. You're just like, this is what it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you have some doubt or something, you're more open to the other side of things. Where if you were like, I'm the best at this, screw you, science or whoever it is, So that's our little helpful tidbit in the middle of all this fun episode. So I'll just leave us with the last question here. We don't answer this one, Nelson, and anyone who's joining our podcast for the first time. We just don't answer it. Maybe we'll answer it on side B. I don't know. Is doubt a strength or a weakness?
All right, so welcome to Side B. I'd like to start with the question Grayson left with, actually. Is doubt a strength or a weakness? Is doubt a strength or a weakness?
Well, I'll go and just get it out of the way because I already pretty much gave my answer on the first one. Being absolutely certain is a weakness, so having doubt would be a strength. So you can grow and you can evolve and adapt to new situations. I think there's a lot of examples about that. Like if you were in ancient Greece and you were completely convinced that the Greek gods existed, there's a lot of, people now who would call you crazy. And maybe they did. I don't know. That's one you don't really know.
That's where the doubt comes in.
Everything changes, knowledge evolves across generations. So being absolutely certain of something right now is probably not a good way to be.
That's interesting you say that. So, because that's the realm, and if you change it from, like you could say politics right now, everybody they just say absolutes, and in religion you may say there's absolutes. Doubt in religion is not necessarily good if you think about faith, but doubt in politics is awesome.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you want theoretically that's because that's the whole idea, the compromise. Or is doubt in faith?
I think there should be.
Wrong.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I did meet with. I used to talk to this guy who was a youth pastor at King of Kings in Omaha here, and he was like, "You have to question if you're not questioning it." No, Dan Hoppin.
Oh, Dan Hoppin
works with us now.
Same dudes.
Yeah. He's like, if you don't doubt it, you're not actually doing, enough internal searching or whatever. Okay. And I was like, okay, cool. But like, it is kind of hard. And granted, I'm not, the best Christian ever. It's pretty hard when they're
None of us are, man.
They're like, you have to believe in Jesus Christ to get into heaven or else. And you're like, oh, I know there's a lot of different sects of Christianity that make it a little different, but that's the messaging they put forth.
Listen, I was told a long time ago by my buddy Toad that all I had to do was accept the dude into my heart and I'm in no matter what. So I did in 7th grade. I'm in.
So there's two different ways to approach this.
There you go.
He's a youth pastor now. He goes by his real name. They don't call him Toad anymore, but
hey, Pastor Toad.
That'd be awesome.
He had a haircut look like Toad's soul.
We all did.
I think doubt is always a strength. I think you can, and I think even in the faith world, I think it's fine if you question things all the way to the end. That's why it's the profession I have. It's the person I am. I question everything. I question everything. And I mean, why is I think I wake up in the morning thinking, why? Why did I wake up?
Kind of scary.
Why?
Again?
I look at my
yeah. What?
It's like the mail. The news never stops. You go crazy.
That's true. I look at my wife and I go, why did you marry me? You could have done so much better. I mean, it's like why? It's like, and I'm fine with that. And I think if there is a supreme being, I think they would say, okay, that's cool. That's who you are. It's okay to question things.
I've never understood now we're going to go down theology a little bit. I've never understood this hard division between religion and science, because let's take it at its face value that this is this, but there's some benevolent creator, right? And has created all of this for all of us. Why wouldn't that person want us to figure out all of it?
Yeah. Right. I had this conversation with that youth pastor. There's people who are against vaccines for religious reasons. But then if you go into pure faith, there's a parent there
Yeah.
whose kid had measles, and they're like, man, I'm praying there's a solution to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a vaccine now.
Why wouldn't
okay.
this person want us to figure out how to do all of it? What a quark is and what the building blocks are. Want us to figure out what these Lego pieces are. That's why we're being given all the time to do it, because the universe is infinitely expanding.
Oh, don't even start on
There you
that.
go.
I asked Neil deGrasse Tyson the worst question ever asked to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, it was not the worst question.
You had Neil deGrasse Tyson?
He blew his
No,
mind.
not on the podcast.
Oh.
We went to a
That'd be crazy. Shoved up
well,
a little bit.
he was the last one who sat in that seat, by the way. Yeah, so it's
The heat.
so I'm not
Take it
I'm
with
just
you,
saying.
actually. That's your chair.
Thank you.
So we're gonna say, hey Neil, buddy, Nelson sat in that seat.
No, it was just a Q&A. And I went, so space is always expanding, right? What's it expanding into? And he
That's
went,
not a bad
It's
question.
a great question.
no, it's a stupid question.
It's a great question.
Nobody, he went, I don't know.
That's good. Are you
That's the
kidding?
answer. Yeah.
You got Neil deGrasse Tyson to say out loud, I don't know. And you think that's a bad question?
Your words, your lips to God's ears.
No one can know it.
That's the clip.
He did it.
That's the clip on the entire 3-hour TED talk you lead with. I don't know.
I don't know
How
science.
did we get to that? How did we get to the man who has an answer for everything?
See,
He did explain like ultimate dimensions like being stacked on each other, and there's
What is
timelines
on the
going
outside edge?
No one
If
knows.
it's expanding, there has to
There
be
has to be
something on the
something
other
it's expanding
side.
into.
He's-
Yeah,
he's-
thank you.
that's what he's saying. There's so many multiple parallel.
Yeah.
If it's expanding, it's actually just possibly
Folding in
going
on
to
itself.
into another
Yeah,
one.
That
yeah.
makes more
Yeah.
sense now to me, actually.
a little
So-
bit.
But there still has
You're
to be
welcome.
outside of the fucking ball.
Yeah, but for me, who can't like close my eyes and think of universes
Nope.
stacked on each other, it
Can't
still
even.
doesn't. I
Can't
mean,
imagine.
I get the explanation, but like, yeah, I'm sure it is. I can draw it. I
Yeah.
can draw you a
That's
picture.
right, because you know.
Yeah, I know the concept.
know.
I,
You
I,
don't
close,
see it.
I close my eyes to think about it, and I see a cow. It's the same thing.
Every time now, I can
Yeah.
see a guy.
I'm Ron McCartney. I can picture a cow.
I wasn't going to go to that flex right away. But theoretically, that may now be on my tombstone.
That better be the top headline on the day he just announced. He's hanging it up. Legendary broadcaster can imagine cow.
How many brains that would break?
I think it makes perfect sense. This guy goes by cow fields, and he pitched this. I don't think he actually believes this. I'm not sure. When we were kids, he pitched this idea that cows were what humans become when they die.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
Reincarnation.
we'd go by cow fields, and he'd honk, and anyone who looked up, he goes, "That
I
guy
know
just died."
That's a new cow.
I'm
a new cow.
I still know.
I'm using it. I'm like, yeah,
Thank you.
because the other cows, they don't care. They're
Yeah.
like, we're cows, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
both
they're
for
real people.
This guy's still holding on to his human life. He's like,
Yeah. She's like, I remember when I was in a car.
Right.
Driving by.
Yeah.
And if they're standing on a hill, that's usually a portal.
it's amazing I'm able to speak. It's amazing.
Mind, man.
I can form sentences, not to win.
Trust what this man says.
This is just fact.
I formulated opinions based on information he has given me. And
Just
now I'm finding out that cows have people in portals.
It's
That is kind of
science.
weird to track, isn't it?
It's just facts, man.
To be fair, it's a pretty liberal opinion, if you ask me.
I didn't know which one to write. I didn't know if I was supposed to be mad at his conservative tinfoil hat or his open liberal
Yeah.
aesthetic. I don't know what to be angry about.
I hope I've answered some questions.
And created more at the same
And
time.
created more. So what about you, Cam?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I am fully on board with
Are
that.
we doing the cow thing or are we doing the
No,
question?
the doubters.
The doubt,
Strength,
strength. Yeah. I think doubt's a strength for sure. And I like what you guys said. I agree with that. But I also want to take it on the side of like nervous. Like if you're nervous about something, you're obviously got a little bit of doubt in yourself about
Oh yeah.
things.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you don't have that little bit of doubt in yourself, then what the fuck are you doing?
Hmm.
Like if you're not scared to do it, I think about it in the broadcast sense of like every time I crack a mic, I'm a little bit,
Sure.
ooh, got a little butterflies.
Right.
If you don't have that, then you're in the wrong place.
Well, I mean,
and you can reply that to any business.
I think there are certain professions where you benefit from being overly confident.
Surgeon.
So, like, if Michael Jordan's going,
I want him overly confident.
If Michael, yeah, that's true. You want the surgeon to know.
Surgeon to be a
I was
total
do a sport
dickhead.
thing, which really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things when you talk about surgery.
But if he's not like, oh, well, I might accidentally fuck this up.
Nope.
Oh,
No,
he'll be more careful.
He'll
He'll be more careful.
He's going to be more precise and better at
I
what he
want a
does.
guy who can't fathom fucking up. No, I disagree on that one.
In a surgery situation.
Yes.
Just solely. In
Couldn't
that?
even imagine fucking up. This is so easy.
Well, then he just complacent.
That's
and
who I
whatever.
want.
Such a good point.
He's like,
Too.
whatever. I'm just looking around and cut out a liver on accident or whatever.
Cut out a liver.
I hate when that
Doctor
happens.
Strange pre-car accident.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is who I want up in my Benedict Cumber guts. Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
that was a lot.
that before. You said that before.
That was a lot
Whoa.
to process.
I meant like surgically.
Okay, whatever. He's a handsome man.
But I don't care. I do.
He's out there.
He's pretty symmetrical too.
He's very
He's
symmetrical.
a pretty symmetrical guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll tell you. Once I find out, once it slides
my
into
God.
my DMs.
That's what we call a protection order.
Benedict Cumberguts. That's all right.
Yeah.
It'll stick.
Hey, Benedict, what do you think?
I think that doubt is the mountain climber game in The Price is Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, like it.
So yes, I do believe that it is a motivator to a point.
To a point.
And there is a point then where you have got to shit or get off the pot.
I like that.
See, I think NBA players. That's
I
where
like
I was
that.
going before
Oh,
the
yeah.
surgery thing that completely
Sorry.
just trumps me because that's a way better example. So, like, if Michael Jordan's going into Game 7, like, oh man, I don't want the shot at the end, like, you know,
Right.
Oh, no, you want the ball.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you want it, You're like, I'm
want
gonna make that shot, and that's
Yeah.
why he's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you could split it between differences of like professional, like if it's sporting, that's a thing. Like you want to be more confident in that
Yeah.
because that just helps your team, it helps you.
But, I mean-
But then the other way, doubt's good for you to
And maybe
better
maybe
at
even
doing what
Michael
you do.
Jordan should have some doubts. Like, I don't want to bring that guy to a casino.
Right.
That much of a break.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your life might be at risk, Dad. Sorry. That's a really deep joke about Michael Jordan betting and his dad being killed because of it.
Oh my God.
You not heard that theory?
It's just like a Batman. I thought you were doing Batman again. Okay.
I thought you were talking to your dad in that moment. I was like, did you bet on Michael Jordan and lose a bunch of like his college fund?
No,
What the
Michael Jordan bet on me one time. It was a whole thing.
Jordan
We
bet on
went
it.
back.
We bet on
he was the
NAIA
villain for the
tennis.
Edward R. Murrow Award.
Yeah, he goes, hey, he goes,
Jordan
McCartney,
bet big.
I think you can sing pretty good. And I said, absolutely, bet the house. That's a throwback to side.
No,
eh?
there was a theory that the reason
That's what
his
Michael
dad
Jordan
was shot on the side of the road is that he owed
For his
debts.
debts, I'll sign up for that theory. That makes total sense to me, just like OJ's son did it.
Yeah, I'm not stating.
Did you hear that one?
No.
They say that's why the glove didn't fit. It wasn't him fumfering around. Now check that. You want to go down a you want to go down a rabbit hole?
twice.
It wasn't because he wasn't wearing two gloves.
No, I'm saying that it was if they would have put his son's hand into the glove, it would have fit. And that his son also had a known rage problem. They say, I'm getting this all from the internet. Okay, so I don't know if he had a known. Allegedly, his son had a known rage
Allegedly,
program.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, problem.
The views and
And so
opinions
that
expressed
he
in this
was
podcast.
so upset.
Thank you.
He was so upset by his mother and also didn't know what OJ and his mother's relationship was because he was the child. Okay. And now he's the child of a man who allegedly abused. I think she might actually been convicted for that, but I don't remember. He allegedly smacked Nicole around, right? So now you're seeing a child who is a product of a violent relationship and now has been taught to hate his mother over the choices that she has made because no men are taking any accountability in 1994 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? They're barely doing it in 2025 for our own male loneliness epidemic. Well, go to a therapist. Try crying just one time.
Try crying.
Try a good cry just one time, you animal.
Where are we heading with this?
No,
but I'm just saying,
My neck is starting to hurt from spinning.
so that's a conspiracy theory that I had heard that it was OJ's son that had did it, and that's ultimately why he was able to be acquitted of it because he didn't do it.
Could not the glove have fit Lindsay Lohan as well?
Could have.
She had rage issues.
Not snug though. I don't think. Not like a glove.
There's only like 6 sizes of gloves, right?
I don't know.
I think 4.
There's like
Small, medium, large, and extra
but
large.
you got youth
Yeah.
sizes.
Yeah.
Oh, youth.
Youth.
You forgot the
Oh, the youth.
How many youths?
But also,
were there?
I really
At
think if
least two
OJ
youths,
wasn't
yeah.
wearing a glove when they asked him to put the glove on, it's probably a different story.
But you okay, but now you're being facetious a little bit, and you're also showing
What?
your age on that one. Go back to the video. This is very much akin to when
He
the
wasn't even
lady
born
burned
yet.
herself at McDonald's, right? And
Or
everyone,
coffee.
all the late night guys were like,
Hey, she
I did
won
not
that
know
one,
a cup
yeah.
of coffee's hot. This woman got 3rd-degree burns and parts of her body fused together. OJ had a fast food glove on. He didn't have another isotoner. He didn't have a
I'm just
fucking
saying.
winter glove on. He had a tiny piece of plastic
I've seen the video.
so that he could put his hand into it and not taint the evidence.
I think.
Whole other glove.
Why are they worried about the evidence at the like? They should have tested that already. First
You
of
would
all,
think that also. Just
That's
give
fair.
him the glove.
second of all, I saw the video. They barely try to squeeze it on. They're like, "Yep, nope."
You must have quit, dude.
Yeah, don't
You
fit.
must have quit.
You must.
Yeah, can't
The
believe
glove don't fit.
that's how court works. You just say the snappy line and you get
exactly
away
how
with it.
court works. Yeah. My cousin Vinny is a documentary. All right.
I have seen that.
I want to know why all the old radio guys sound like Jimmy Cagney. Hey, yeah, she burned herself with a coffee.
She won that case too.
She
did. Oh, yeah.
That's why. That's why all the cups now say
Part
caution
of her
content.
body fused. Fused. Do you know that?
Yeah, I understand.
Like
the
her
concept.
thighs fused
Yeah.
together.
I'm not talking about her thighs. I'm talking about something that you want an exit on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Fused.
Close your eyes and try to imagine.
No, I
that.
got it.
You
Oh,
can't.
baby,
Thank God I can't.
This is a strength now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in the strong 2%.
You're welcome.
Has anybody Nelson ever told you that you commit quickly
Yeah.
and deeply?
Yeah, I followed him up pretty fast.
I just told that a couple weeks ago, actually. Yeah.
That was what cost me my last relationship.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So along those lines.
Nice transition.
Thank you. When did you say you got married last time?
I've only married the one time. I got married 11/11/11.
Right, that's Armistice Day.
Yeah,
That's the 11th day. I was on the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month is when World War I ended.
really.
Yeah, so it's called Armistice Day.
I think I got married at 11 o'clock.
See, there you go.
Like, and not because we were trying to get married at 11 o'clock. I just we were going to get married on the island we were going to get married at, and I like palindromes. Okay, so it's 11/11/11.
You like symmetry.
That's not
So
even a
that's-
palindrome. That's just the same word.
Whatever.
number, yeah.
They come backwards.
It wasn't divergent from symmetry that day.
Right.
Nice.
So I love that, and that's what I wanted. So
Divested.
on the
yeah.
air, I'm ordained. So on the air, I was on the Pat and JT show at the time. We married 11 couples during the show, at the show, and then I left the show and got married, and then we went and flew to the island and had the ceremony because we wanted legally the wedding to be on 11/11/11, and I'm almost certain it was at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Can you marry people over the radio? Because I have a great bit.
I'm sure I can. I can sign off on it, and I can provide the service. So
You'll be
yes, why couldn't
signatures and
I?
stuff.
So like, if you're in a rate, like imagine the couple in a car driving in the morning, and you're just like,
I think I could legally
You know-
bind them. Yes.
yeah, you know what, boyfriend, tell the girlfriend what you like about him,
By the power.
and then
vested in
girlfriend,
me.
tell the
Oh,
boyfriend
man.
what you like about him. Okay, you guys are married now.
But they just have to deliver
Well,
the
they have to
paperwork.
have that too, and then we also have to have a marriage license. It's not like it's not
Oh.
magic, Grayson.
You
Like
can't force them together.
Sorry, I want a more mythical world,
No.
man.
I'm basically a notary public. Okay.
For the
For
soul.
love, right? For the soul.
Love.
That's what I am. I don't even know if any of my marriages are legal because I write REV Nelson, and I don't know that I'm technically a reverend.
Reverend Nelson.
I don't
But
think you are.
No, but I've been ordained by the Universal Life Church. I just think I'm a minister.
Universal.
Yeah, but I write reverend.
Did you ever put IR before the REV?
I don't. I should.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
All right. Is that your question?
No, I was curious. No, I thought I heard you drop that. Just kind of
Yeah,
like under
11,
your,
11, 11.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so it's,
Nice.
I married a veteran's daughter on Veterans Day. That's why I like to.
Nice.
Oh, you should have led with that.
yeah, that's
Well, he upstaged me with Armistice Day.
that's what it's called.
I know, but God, it sounds cooler than Veterans Day. Armistice Day sounds like it's way like
Well, back
the
when I was
war times and Armistice Day.
well, when I was in high school, that's what we called it because it was just happening.
Right after the Civil War.
Yeah. We're talking about imposter syndrome. So who do you want to be? Who?
There's an owl in here now.
Who do you want to be?
I don't think anybody, right?
You don't wanna be
Safe
anybody?
The healthy answer is to be me, right? like I'm the best answer.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Right, but everybody has a vision. If they don't close their eyes, if they leave their eyes open, if they have a vision of who they would want
I have a
to
best version of myself. I don't have someone
All right.
else to point
Okay,
to.
fair enough.
Is that a better way?
That's fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a cop out. Yeah.
It is cop out.
Yeah, it is.
It's also like
It was full of cop
I
outs.
really, yeah, we really cop out.
It's
a
a
lot.
cheap
Right.
way to answer this.
I really
question.
just can't think of like anybody I would actually want to be that's not
Sitting at this
the
table?
best version.
Right.
Well, it's the competitive part. It's like, oh, the best version of me will take Michael Jordan any day.
Michael Jordan challenge is like, well, I'm fucking him up in basketball. That's for sure.
Yeah, we
Didn't
play
he just
tennis.
try to get his dad killed, or his dad got killed?
That wasn't
Because
me.
it was.
Oh, you tennis. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh. Mhm.
No, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, drink. I have this imagination of who I could be if I applied myself in various different ways, right? Like I could, I'm not going to go like 17 different directions and apply myself in 17 ways. Like, oh, if I applied myself in this way, I'd do that. I don't want to go into
So
journalism.
you
He told me
think-
not to go into journalism.
I did tell you.
Think in
Go to journalism.
multiverses of yourself.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
You can think in multiverses of yourself.
I can think of paragraphs of multiverses of
Yeah,
myself.
see,
Yeah, not a whole thing.
Yeah.
Snapshot in the life of
No,
that
it's like,
multiverse.
man, if I really applied myself, I could probably do that. But maybe I want to do this if I apply myself. And that's, we go back to decision paralysis,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
we talked about in episode 1 of this season. There we go. But yeah, I would say the version of myself that's actually motivated to, well, I'm motivated already, but the version of myself that's motivated to achieve all they could and is committed in one direction, that's the version of myself I want to be. And I'm not there yet. You could say I'm 27. I don't need to be there. So I'm going to take that as my answer though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I guess
Albert Pujols? Like,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just give an answer.
He doesn't have to be an athlete.
blood changes everything.
He's opened it up for you like 3 or 4 times.
yeah, let's see.
It could be somebody who
Like
raised
really
you.
inspires you. Yeah, like
I think it's a
Shares
point.
your last name.
legendary.
Legendary.
Say his name in town. You know what? It's funny to say that, okay? But say his name in town and say somebody what?
Right.
I saw Robert Carney in aisle 3. Fuck yeah, we're all in aisle 3.
Oh
I
no,
guarantee ya.
I've
Right.
learned. I've
Cereal.
learned my lesson there. Going to Target a bunch of times. With
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
you don't do that.
you don't. You
No.
don't broadcast.
Yeah, you don't go to aisle 3.
No.
Nothing
Well,
good
that's the
happens.
crime.
now.
At least he could go in undercover, right? So if you don't spy him, then maybe you're not picking up on it, or he could dress down or
He-
whatever. I have a voice that's like a fucking
That's
fingerprint.
his thing too.
Yeah,
though.
you do have. Yeah.
And
I would say
people
Nelson's is
hear me
more.
rolls
Yeah.
over and go, "That's Nelson."
I've been there.
Yeah.
We were at a bar. All of us, like our college buddies, got together. He was on Pat GT's morning show, and we're just all hooting, hollering, having a good time. This table next to us, of girls were like, "I think that's Nelson. Like, is that Nelson over there?" And then he's like, "Yeah." He flips his chair around to that table and
radio,
just doing
immediate
it.
radio.
He's just doing it up.
Just beamed on him. High beam.
And the rest of us are like, "This fucking guy. All right, he's off doing that thing."
Immediate. I just want to love a chance to sing and dance, baby.
Just recognize his voice because he
I
was
love
loud
it.
as hell.
I love it. Yeah.
Let's go to someone else. I'm not getting better.
All right. Who do you want to be, Cam?
Yeah. Again, I like being me. I don't think they changed anything. I mean, there's probably a couple points, but why would I be me anymore at that point, right?
Oh, how very ship of Theseus of you.
Or whatever the hell you
Oh,
said.
hey. All right.
I was right.
I think he was trying to swear, but
I didn't know you would know that.
I came out the wrong way.
in college. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
He
But,
just
that's why they call it a thesis because.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
and that's what he
No.
And the ship sailed.
It's a
It's a
ship where
brain
you put all your
sailing.
theses into it,
That's
and then
it.
it goes.
That's
And then
it.
they
Tails off.
light up
They light
fucking
fire arrow and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, my dream funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
The funeral pyre in the ocean.
Yeah,
That's
but I only want
Burning
kids
of
shooting at it
fetus.
so they miss.
What happens if you don't get far enough on the tide and you start coming back?
It's easier.
down.
It's like a video game that just kind of pities you at the end.
But don't they just kick you back out
Yeah.
of the ocean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, go back out
Some
there.
dads try to teach their kid a lesson like,
Dude, no,
you cannot burn this
It's
man
too
on
easy.
fire.
Don't shoot him in the face here.
awesome. That's awesome.
Kick him back out to sea.
But if I can't be me, I would love to be Jim Carrey.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
good.
It'd be fun.
You want to move to Canada? Or what?
Yeah, it's like so. I guess the thing is, am I me replacing Jim Carrey as me, or am I taking over Jim Carrey's
Oh,
life?
And he becomes you.
are you being John Malkovich?
Right,
Or
am I
are
in-
you the new Jim?
I think
Carrey?
there's just two Jim Carreys.
Becoming Jim Carrey.
You're one of the
Oh,
Jim Carreys.
so-
So there's still the other
so
Jim
the other
Carrey still
one.
exists.
Okay.
It's
So
like
like
a room.
that lesbian comedian on TikTok. I wish I could think of her name.
Yeah.
She looks exactly like
Does
him,
really
and like
great
can
impressions.
do his face and everything. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not Jim Carrey. I'm just a comedian, also." And then she uses that for her. Just Google lesbian that looks like Jim Carrey, and she'll come up.
Put that in your search history.
Yep. Don't get.
I don't want the ads
Yeah.
associated with
Yep.
that.
Nope.
All right, I'll whitewash it or whatever, gray wash it. I'll be some successful comedian of
Nice.
sorts.
Hey, all right.
That's what I'll be.
Nate Bargatze be cool. I'll jump
Oh,
on camera.
yeah.
He's
I'll go
great.
there.
Love Bargatze.
All right. We're up to Nelson, but I think he's.
He's Googling.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like, and she could do the mannerisms and like contort her face
Got
that way.
big teeth, 6'2",
Like the
kind of
mask.
gangly.
Yeah,
What's her
Heather
name?
Shaw is her name, so you can find her on TikTok, and she's on
Without
other
doing
social
the
media.
lesbian
Yeah.
that looks like Jim Carrey.
At Heather Shaw with 4 W's at the end for Shaw. So there you go.
Shaw.
I am an amalgamation of all of the people that I want to be. So that's why I think my imposter syndrome is rooted in, because I don't really know who I am anymore.
Oh, you're like Andy Kaufman.
So like I take pieces from especially pieces of people.
Mhm.
Like I take their ears and their toes, and I don't chop up people there,
Good
but I
disclaimer.
take mannerisms from them. like I've stolen like things that Pat, the guy that we all know from Pat and JT.
Yeah.
I've stolen things from him when we were together. I stole a laugh from Nick Baugh, like the sports guy.
They all have podcasts here,
Yeah.
and Pat works here.
Right.
full-time.
Well, that just I could go on at length about the genius move that was when Pat made
Yeah.
that switch over and got all of those people together. But Schick and Nick were on as a feature on our show before their show was on live when they were still on the radio. And so there's a laugh that he always goes, "Ah!" That's a very Nick Bob. And he's like, "Ah!" And I just stole it from him one day, and I just go use it in my life. And I realized over time, I do that for like all of the things I do. Like the guy I worked with in Lincoln, Gary, there was a maneuver he would do when he was making a point. He talks with his hands. And when he wants to highlight a point, he'll go like this.
like literally
Like he's
highlighting
Like
it
it's
again.
literally
Yeah.
highlighting it. Like the 2 fingers are out. And he goes like this. I stole that from him, and I didn't realize I did it. And then I did it at him, and I go, "Oh my God, I just did your thing."
Oh, you should ask him if he can see things when he closes his eyes,
Yeah.
or if we're seeing text and he can see
Oh,
text.
it's
while his
actually
eyes are
literally
open.
highlighting it.
Right.
He's actually
And that's
highlighting
one of
it.
my favorite moves now is to do just like he did. Like I even hold my arm the way that he did. Like it's some of it's subconscious and some of it's like I like that, and I don't want people to think I'm like weirder than I am, because I'm just very strange and insecure. I'm very much a radio guy in the way that like the Johnny Fever was a radio guy. Like, oh, he's weird.
Could
They
be
don't know how to
character.
talk to people, and and then they get on the air and they're like, "Oh, I'm this guy, and I'm so cool, and I know all the things to say," and so I can just play that character without a microphone. So I just turn it on. I start again. Screw it. We're doing it live, and I just start running downhill. And I've just watched how other people have entertained other people. I very much believe you can teach yourself to be funny, because I think I did it.
Yeah.
But it took
I
a
agree.
lifetime to get here. And it took a lot of like making weird small talk that didn't make any sense, or like, because I had heard someone else make small talk like it. So I like try to make Mad Libs out of it. I'm like, oh, I'll talk about this item at this time with this. But I would say something wrong, or I'd ask a guy about music and get the wrong band. And for whatever reason, right as it would happen, they would always at the top of their lungs go like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you don't have to make a scene out of it, dude. I'm just trying to cultivate a personality. All right. I'm just trying to figure out who the fuck I am.
I'm just sawing off your fingers and your toes
like God,
and your
would you
soul.
would you rather me chop you up actually? Because that's what you're driving me to. It's not though. I'm not making
with the
any
magnifying
confessions.
glass on the sidewalk, burning ants. Yeah. No, not to belittle that point at all. But I think isn't that what everybody kind of does?
Yeah, you're
Maybe.
you're a
Like, we're all
reflection of your experience.
Products of your
Yeah.
experience.
But like, can you name like individual things that you've actively stolen from people and added to your personality? Because that's what I'm talking about.
No, I get
Yeah.
that.
Like I see
Yeah.
things and I'm like, I want that. And then I start using it at other places. Like, if you ever heard me tell someone like a compliment I'll throw out because I think it's funny and they don't know what to think about it is, I think you're powerful and wonderful and you can run fast. I say that to people, right? That's word for word, Pat Safford.
Oh yeah.
Like that's literally his thing. I heard him say it.
Damn,
to
he's
someone.
never said that to me.
He said it to someone on the radio,
You'll get
and
there
I go,
someday.
I like that, and that's my personality. I say that to people. Like, so that's the point I'm making. Yes,
Gotcha.
I
No,
do
I get
believe
it,
other
yeah.
people are influenced by the things that they see and do. I will find something that's working for you and I'll fucking steal it.
That's good. You're the cook. You have a
Yeah.
bunch of ingredients to work with.
Yes.
And you're just like, let's see what this
Like,
dish
I
is.
know this works. And then I will go to the things that work so that I avoid the, what are you talking about? You know,
Yeah.
Also going back to side A, when he's cooking, it's all the way on 10. That's hot.
Hot. Yeah. All the way or no the way.
I'll try it.
I would say your experiences have made you not an imposter.
Oh.
You are an original. And that's side B.